welcome to the deep dive. We love to take things that you've been meaning to look at and really pull them apart
Yeah.
and look at all the little details. And today we're going deep with Tommy Richman's $1 Million Baby. I am so curious not only about the catchy tune, but also the deeper meaning, like the ambition, the identity, the relationships that are kind of woven into the lyrics.
Right.
What does it actually mean to have $1 million mindset? And how does that apply to things beyond music?
Well, one of the things I think is so fascinating about this song is that it uses the metaphor of the $1 million baby to symbolize like this inherent value and potential.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying, I'm destined for greatness, even if the world hasn't quite realized it yet.
You know that line, because I want to make it so badly, I'm $1 million baby, don't at me. It really struck me because it's such a strong statement of self-belief.
Yeah.
But it also made me think about the role of grit in achieving success. It's not just about talent.
Absolutely not. No, this song very much embodies the idea of a growth mindset, the belief that you can develop your abilities through hard work and dedication.
Right.
And he's not just relying on some natural talent, but he's really putting in the effort, pushing through those doubts and saying, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the research on resilience.
Okay.
People who are able to bounce back from setbacks and keep striving towards their goals are the ones who achieve those extraordinary things.
It makes me think about all the times I've felt stuck, or discouraged.
Yeah.
It's like this song is a reminder to tap into that drive, and just refuse to settle for mediocrity.
Right.
What about you? Have you ever come up against something that really challenged your grit?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone faces setbacks at some point in their journey.
Yeah.
The key is really how we respond to those challenges. Do we let them define us, or do we use them as fuel to push ourselves further? I think the lyrics here suggest that true success lies in embracing those challenges and using them as opportunities for growth.
That's a really powerful way to look at it.
Yeah.
And it's not just about those external obstacles, it's also those internal doubts. It makes me think about times when I've questioned my own abilities and I just felt like giving up.
Yeah.
But this song is like this shot of motivation saying, hey, keep going, you got this.
Keep pushing.
And I think that idea of pushing forward, even though there are challenges, is something we can all relate to, whether it's our jobs, our personal lives, or creative things we're doing.
It's about tapping into that inner resilience.
Yeah.
That belief in your own ability to overcome adversity and achieve your goals.
Yeah.
But it's also about recognizing that we don't have to go it alone.
Right.
Richman even touches on this, with the line, she a bad little mama, she a diva. No matter what happens, he cannot come between us again.
I was wondering when we were going to get to that, because
Yeah.
it seems like he's talking about a relationship that weathers the storms. Someone who's there for him no matter what.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, how do our relationships affect our ability to pursue our dreams?
Well, this line really highlights the role of social support in achieving our goals.
Yeah.
Having a strong network of people who believe in us and support us can make a huge difference in our ability to overcome obstacles and stay motivated. Just think about the people in your own life who have been your anchors, your cheerleaders during times of change or uncertainty. Those relationships can be incredibly powerful.
They really can.
Yeah.
It's like having that one person, or maybe it's a small group of people who really get you.
Right.
And they believe in your vision, even when you're doubting yourself.
Yeah.
They become like your safe space, your
Yeah.
source of strength when things get tough. And sometimes those relationships even act as catalysts. They push us to become better versions of ourselves. But what about when those relationships become strained, or when we feel like we're changing in ways that maybe the people around us just don't understand?
That's a really interesting question, and it leads us to another key theme in the song. The tension between staying true to yourself and that pressure to conform. Richman kind of hints at this struggle in the lines, I ain't never upset, baby. I ain't do no wrong.
Yeah.
I could clean up good for you. Oh, I know right from wrong. It's like he's navigating this balance between maintaining his individuality and, meeting those societal expectations.
It's like he's saying, I can play by the rules, I can clean up good, but I'm not going to compromise my values or who I am in the process.
Right.
It reminds me of that whole concept of identity,
Yeah.
Who are we really at our core?
Yeah.
And how much of that are we willing to let the world kind of mold?
Yeah. It's that age-old question, nature versus nurture, right? Like
Right.
how much of who we are is predetermined and how much is influenced by our experiences and our environment and the people around us. And Richman seems to be grappling with this tension
Yeah.
between staying true to his roots while also trying to find success in a world that often demands that you conform.
It's like walking a tightrope, isn't it? Trying to find that balance where you can achieve things without losing yourself in the process.
Yeah.
But it's not always an easy thing, is it?
Not at all.
There's this pressure to fit in,
Right.
to please other people, to meet these expectations that are put on us. And sometimes those expectations clash with our own values or what we want.
Absolutely. And that's where self-awareness becomes so important.
Mm-hmm.
It's about really taking the time to understand who you are, what you believe in, and what truly matters to you.
Yeah.
Once you have that clarity, it's so much easier to handle those outside pressures and make choices that are true to yourself.
But even with that self-awareness, we still crave validation, don't we?
Yeah.
That desire to be seen, to be acknowledged for who we are and what we've done.
Mm-hmm.
Richman even says, but you still don't notice me. My sound next, VA next, I'm at the day neck, I'm running up a check. He's like acknowledging, like yearning for recognition.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also moving forward, even though he's not getting it.
It's a really great observation. And there's this tension in the lyrics between that seeking validation from others
Right.
and also recognizing your own self-worth.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying, yeah, I want to be seen,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to let that determine my value or my success. And it brings to mind the whole idea of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation.
Can you kind of unpack that a little? Like, what is the difference between those two?
Sure. So extrinsic motivation is all about external rewards like praise, recognition, or money.
Okay.
And while those things can be motivating, they don't last.
Right.
And they can actually leave you feeling empty if that's all you're chasing.
Yeah.
On the flip side, intrinsic motivation, it comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
It's about doing something because it genuinely means something to you, or you enjoy it, or it aligns with your values.
Right.
And research actually shows that people who are intrinsically motivated tend to stick with things longer. They're more creative, and ultimately they're more fulfilled in what they do.
So it's about finding that drive within yourself, that passion that fuels you from the inside, rather than just relying on getting a pat on the back from other people.
Exactly.
It's about recognizing your own worth and being proud of your accomplishments, whether anyone else notices or not.
Exactly. And I think that's a key part of what Richman is getting at in this song.
Yeah.
He's not sitting around waiting for permission to be great.
Yeah.
He's taking charge of his own worth, chasing his dreams, and trusting that the recognition will come eventually.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, he's finding that fulfillment in just going after it.
Mm. You know, that makes me think about the actual music of the song.
Mm-hmm.
The beat is really driving and the chorus keeps repeating.
Yeah.
It really emphasizes that relentless pursuit of success that he's talking about.
Absolutely.
It's like the music itself is pushing you forward,
Yeah.
you know, like saying, keep going, keep striving, believe in yourself.
That's such a brilliant point.
Yeah.
The music absolutely plays a role in conveying the message of the song.
Yeah.
The repetition, for example, is a really powerful way to drive home a point or to create a feeling of momentum. And in this case, it really highlights that idea of going after it with everything you've got, that unwavering determination to reach your goals.
It's like the song is a soundtrack for personal growth and change. Yeah. And it makes me wonder if we apply this million-dollar mindset to our own lives. How can we embrace change and growth even when it's scary or uncomfortable?
That's a really great question. And it takes us to yet another layer of meaning in these lyrics. You know, there's this line, "What you mean I changed, haven't stayed the same, I've been losing my mind." And it's just so raw and honest.
Yeah.
It really captures that feeling of being misunderstood, you know, when you're on this journey of growth.
I can definitely relate to that. It's like when you're changing and the people around you, they still see you as you used to be.
Right.
There's this disconnect.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating when they don't get the changes you've made or the person you're becoming.
It reminds me of the different stages of development we all go through in life, you know?
Yeah.
As we experience new things, our perspectives change, our priorities shift.
Right.
And sometimes the people closest to us, they have a hard time keeping up.
Yeah.
And that can be a really lonely feeling, like Richman says, you know, feeling like you're losing your mind.
Yeah.
But it also shows his dedication to growth, even if it means being misunderstood.
There's a lot of courage in that, you know?
Yeah.
Embracing change even when people are pushing back or judging you.
Right.
But isn't that what living authentically is all about?
Absolutely.
Staying true to your own evolution even when it's hard.
It's about understanding that growth can be messy and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There are going to be times when we feel lost, confused, maybe even a little crazy, as Richman says.
Right.
But those are often the times when we're really pushing ourselves, going beyond our comfort zones and discovering new things about who we are.
And that brings us back to the idea of the million-dollar mindset, you know?
Yeah.
We've talked about grit, resilience, relationships, embracing change. But what does it all really boil down to? How do we cultivate that mindset so that it leads to a fulfilling life, not just financial success?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is in defining success for yourself, not by what society says or what other people expect.
It's like Richman is saying, I'm going to decide what I'm worth. I'm going to go after my own dreams. I'm not going to let anyone else tell me what success looks like for me.
Yeah.
It's about tuning out all that noise and listening to your own inner voice.
Exactly. It's about figuring out what truly matters to you.
Yeah.
Whether that's creative expression, meaningful connections, making a difference in the world, or just living a life that feels true to who you are.
And it takes trust.
Yeah.
Trusting yourself even when other people doubt you, even when you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
It's about embracing that journey of self-discovery and having the courage to follow your own unique path.
And that path might not always be smooth sailing.
Right.
You'll hit bumps along the way,
Yeah.
setbacks, maybe even failures. But it's through those experiences that we learn, we grow, and we ultimately become who we're supposed to be.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Million Dollar Baby, I want to leave you with a question.
You okay?
What's one thing you can do today to start building your own million-dollar mindset? What action, even a small one, will get you a little bit closer to that vision of success that you have for yourself?
Maybe it's picking up that passion project you put aside.
Yeah.
Or setting a boundary in a relationship that's been draining you. Or even just taking a moment to recognize your own worth and how far you've come.
Because you have the power to create a life that is rich and meaningful.
Yeah.
Regardless of your bank account or whether other people approve,
Right.
the million-dollar mindset is all about unlocking your potential, embracing your true self, and living a life that shows your unique brilliance.
It's about finding your own melody in the symphony of life.
Thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive into something you've been wanting to explore.